Hello, Sylvester Nkomo here with a new video about the VIP resume. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 reasons why the VIP resume is the most powerful self-marketing tool that can enable you land the kind of job you want, guaranteed. So to do that, I've created a VIP resume for myself. I want to show you how I can market myself to you because you are an interested audience in this particular case. So you want a new job, you want a better job, you want to change your career, or you want a job that offers you the kind of lifestyle you want. So in this video, it's all about how can you get there, how can you get the kind of job you want. I will show you how the VIP resume can help you achieve that. So they say the best way to teach somebody is with examples. So I want to show you how the VIP resume works on the prospect. Now, if you want to apply for a job, your prospect is the hiring manager. So that is the person you'll be writing to. Okay, that's the person that will review your resume to decide whether to interview you or not. So because I want you to really appreciate what is going on in the hiring manager's mind when they are reading your VIP resume, I want you to see what's going on in your own mind when you're reading my own resume that I sent to you to tell you that I can help you get a job. So I've created a resume for myself, and the aim of this resume is to sell you on the fact that I can help you get a better paying job. So in this case, you are the hiring manager who wants to hire me. Okay, so I want you to have the same mind frame as a hiring manager as you go through your VIP resume. So let me start. So if you look at this my VIP resume, I start here with a testimonial from one of my clients, and basically I use the testimonial as the headline. Okay, what do I call the headline? Well, the headline is like what you see in magazines and newspapers. Okay, it's always in big bold letters. So if you've ever visited a newspaper stand or where they sell magazines, you can stand from a distance and you will see on the magazine, you see a big bold headline or a phrase that is a headline. So in this particular VIP resume, the things that stands out, okay, the thing that has the biggest bold characters with the largest font size on the page is this phrase here. Okay, this phrase, I was called for an interview which I attended last Saturday. That is a phrase that stands out. So that is the headline. So what are you looking for? You are looking to increase your number of interviews. So how does that phrase connect with you? When you look at such a phrase, there's a connection between you and that phrase, because the phrase is talking about the same thing that you're looking for. Okay, the same thing that you're in search for. So the phrase here is it serves as both the headline and as a testimonial from one of my clients. So it basically says, I was called for an interview which I attended last Saturday, and then it continues to say, I have been selected for a second phase of the interview and still waiting for the date to be communicated to us. The job is chief accountant. Signed, Bruno A. Eno, accounting manager, Cameroon. So that's a full testimonial. But again, I use it as a grabber, okay, as a headline that grabs your attention, because when you fall on this page, the first thing that you'll be forced to read is the phrase that has the largest font size. Okay, that is where your eye is forced to go. That's what you read first. That is the headline. In fact, you cannot avoid reading that phrase first. So that is what I do to you as my prospective client. Again, remember, I'm trying to sell myself to you. So I want you to be in the mind frame of a hiring manager so that you can see how their mind will be working, how to be observing your own VIP resume to assess whether you are the best candidate or not. So just as though they'll read the headline of this my VIP resume. That's how they'll read their own headline. So do you have a headline that captures their attention? That's the first question you should ask yourself. Okay, so after I've grabbed your attention, the next thing I do is I deliver you the testimonials. I deliver you three testimonials here from my clients. This second one says, so this is the second testimonial here. It says, I have to admit, in my entire career, this is the quickest I have ever been contacted for interviews. It truly is a result producing resume formula. Signed, Emelinda Kiven, registered nurse, San Jose, California. So that's another client of mine. The third testimonial here is from another client from Nigeria who says, today I have moved from that slow pace in my career to an extremely fast lane, and can be happy to say that I am now a senior manager in my job. And certainly there is more to come. This was made possible by the VIP resume and the interview preparation classes that I got from Sylvester. So this one is signed by Agakeme Obi Emanezi, who is now the country finance manager for Oriflame Nigeria. In fact, that is a job that he got with the help of his VIP resume. Originally, he was working for Nigerian Breweries Limited in Nigeria, and he was working there as a data administration manager. And when I did the VIP resume for him, he got this new job as country finance manager for Oriflame. Oriflame is one of the world's cosmetic giants who is now installing in Nigeria. So they were looking for a country finance manager, and thanks to the VIP resume, Obi got that job. So those are three testimonials from my clients. So why do I put them there at the start of my resume? Is to demonstrate that I have something to say. Okay, is to capture your attention and to let you know that, okay, there is something important here that needs my attention. So that's what it does. Again, this is my resume to you, but again, I will take some clients' resumes and show you exactly how I do the same thing, how I do the same positioning with my clients. Okay, I follow the same format to enable them sell their skills and their experience to prospective employers. So the next thing is I say, okay, those are just three of the many positive feedback I have received regularly from my VIP clients regarding the results they've gotten with their VIP resumes. Now, after that, I hit you with a headline. Okay, so this is another sub headline that acts as the headline for the rest of the resume. I say, discover 5 reasons why the VIP resume is the most powerful self-marketing tool that can enable you land the kind of job you want, guaranteed. So again, why is this headline important to you, and why will it grab your attention? Because again, you are looking for a better paying job, and I'm telling you that I'm giving you 5 reasons why the VIP resume is the most powerful self-marketing tool you need. Okay, so this is of interest to you. Again, your headline should always be of interest to your prospective hiring manager. What can you say that will interest them? That's what I'm doing here to you, because in this case, remember, in this particular example, I am putting you in the position of the hiring manager, and I'm writing to you for you to hire me to do your VIP resume. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so I said, okay, discover 5 reasons why the VIP resume is the most powerful self-marketing tool that can enable you land the kind of job you want, guaranteed. So reason number 1. Now, here's reason number 1. Reason number 1 says the VIP resume positions you in a category of 1. Okay, it explicitly demonstrates to the hiring manager that you are different and more valuable than most other candidates. So that's the first thing. That's the first reason why the VIP resume is powerful. So it positions you in a category of 1. Okay, it demonstrates to the hiring manager that you are different and more valuable than most other candidates. So what do I mean by that? Now, the mistake that most people make is that they simply mention on their resumes, they mention the fact that they mention their credentials, like they have an MBA, they have a PMP, and etc. and etc. Okay, so those are credentials. Some also go to mention the fact that they have many years of experience, and then they go ahead and list the responsibilities that they are doing in their present job. So if they have a huge responsibility, they think that just by mentioning those responsibilities, it will give them an edge um, over other candidates. To me, that's very wrong, and that's a very big mistake. So it's like going out there and saying that I'm the only one who owns a Toyota car on the streets of New York. Okay, that is not true, or it doesn't sound believable. So sorry. So the problem is that if you say you are the only one who owns a Toyota car on the streets of New York, that statement sounds unbelievable. Okay, it's the same thing you do when you use your credentials like MBA, PMP, ACA, and all the other credentials you are painfully seeking, or you already have. When you use those credentials as a way of distinguishing yourself from the masses, except those credentials are very few in your field, you cannot use that as a bargaining chip. Okay, because lots of people have MBAs today, lots of people have PMPs, lots of people have PhDs, lots of people have ACA, and so on. Okay, so ask yourself, in my field, does this credential make a lot of sense to separate me from the masses? If not, it's not an important element to distinguish you from the masses. So so what do you do? The solution is here right in front of you. So I've done something here to show you how I can differentiate myself from other people who provide advice on how to get jobs. So again, remember, I am in the field of helping people get better paying jobs, and I also have competitors, and I'm trying to position myself as someone who can help you. So what are the reasons, or what are the things that separate me from the multitudes that also say they can help people have jobs? So let me show you them, what I've done here with my own VIP resume. Let me show you how I have positioned myself. So the first thing I've done here is that I've clearly mentioned that I'm the author of the Job Getting Formula series of books. So if you look at if you look at my name here, you see my name, and then under it I've said I'm the author of resumes for VIP book. And then if you also come down here, you see the books, you see the images of the books. And then I also mention here that you can, so I show you the books. So this is one of them, this is another one, and then I also show you this other one down here. Okay, and I also show you this other one. So why do I show you all of that? Again, is to show you that, okay, I'm different. Most people say they can help you get jobs. They have not even written a book. It means that they don't even have a subject mastery. They don't have a mastery of what they are talking about. Okay, if you cannot teach something, Einstein once said that if you cannot explain something to somebody in a way that they will understand it, therefore you've not mastered it enough. Okay, so if you cannot transmit what you know in writing to explain to people like in books, then you don't know what you're talking about. So that's one of the ways I distinguish myself from the masses, by showing you that these are my books I've written on this subject. And then the second thing I do is I also mention where the books are found. So under each of the titles that I've mentioned here, I tell you that they are found on Amazon.com. I also tell you that they are found on Barnes and Noble. Why do I do that? It's to increase the believability. Okay, if I just mention that I'm an author without showing you an image of the book, or without telling you where you can get the book, you might think that I'm bluffing, or I'm just outright lying. So I tell you where you can get the books, again, to increase the believability for you to trust me. The third thing I do is I mentioned that I featured on Meet the Experts TV show. Now, this is a TV show that was aired on Fox, CBS, NBC, and ABC affiliates in the US. So why do I mention that fact? I mention that fact because I want you to understand that if I've been sought after to give advice in my field, it means that I'm an expert. Okay, if I've been featured on TV, it means that I know what I'm doing. So that's additional credibility that differentiates me from the multitudes of people who say they can help you get jobs. So that's another element of my unique positioning. The fourth thing I do is I tell you that I have I'm a columnist of Forbes Afrique magazine. So why do I tell you that? Now, in case you didn't know, I offer regular advice in the form of articles to Forbes Afrique magazine. Now, Forbes magazine has an extension in Africa, in French-speaking countries in Africa. So I was contacted by the editor to write articles and to teach people about how to get jobs. So regularly I write articles, I give it to them, and they translate it in from French to English, and they publish it. And this magazine is read throughout Francophone Africa in about 23 countries. Okay, so this is huge. Why do I tell you this? I tell you this because I want to also prove to you that if I have been contacted by the executive editor of Forbes Afrique on matters concerning career growth, it means that I know what I'm doing. So that's additional differentiation. That's my expert positioning. So I hope you can see what I mean by differentiate yourself from the masses. Again, this is me talking to you, but I will show you another example of a candidate like yourself talking to a hiring manager. I just want to take you through this exercise because I want you to judge me from what you read on my resume, so that you see how the hiring manager will be judging you when they are reading your VIP resume. So all of those things offer me instant credibility, and it gets more of your attention, and you keep reading my resume. Each time you see each of these elements, it increases your desire to meet me in person. Okay, that is what causes the hiring manager to invite you for an interview. It's because of you piling your unique positioning elements one after the other. Okay, one on the other, upon the other. So you try to pile them up so that at a certain point, it makes you irresistible as a candidate. So the question you may be asking at this point is, what are the things that make you or what are the things that make me different? So you should be asking yourself, what are the things that makes you different from the multitudes? How can you position yourself? So to do that, ask yourself, what are the awards you've had in the past? What are some of the recognitions you've had in your field that you can put on your VIP resume, that you can mention to separate you from the masses? What kind of things have you accomplished for your employer that are really unique, or that you can talk about, that can differentiate you from the masses? Okay, so while I'm still on that point, let me take an example from one of my clients. So remember, I'm still on the point of I'm on reason number one. Reason number one says the VIP resume positions you in a category of one. Okay, it explicitly demonstrates to the hiring manager that you are different and more valuable than most other candidates. So that is reason number one. Now let me show you how I do that with some of my clients. So let me take an example here from one of my clients' resume. So let me take this one from Notori. So this is Oduak Lazarus VIP resume that I did recently. So as you can see, the same principles apply here. So let me just show you the same principle that I applied in his in creating his VIP resume. So remember, my VIP resume started with this portion here with a headline. Yeah, as you can see, Lazarus too has a headline. Okay, and his headline says, "You have over the years performed exceptionally well on the shipment documentation for our international trade transactions, as well as on the ocean-going vessel operations." That is signed by Rod Yu, who is from OTS UK. who is a partner to Lazarus' employer. So the next testimonial is from Lazarus' former boss. It says, Uduak is energetic and motivated. He brings to bear his wide knowledge of the shipping industry to tackle the logistics issues and maintain a controlled process. So that's from Umar Obasi, his former boss. Okay, so and then the next thing it says is that those are just two of the many positive remarks made about me regarding my work attitude and performance. So as you can see, what I just did, what I did for my VIP resume, same thing I did here for my client, Oduak Lazarus. Okay, so just by why does he use this as a headline? Is because the hiring manager in their mind, they are searching for those kind of exceptional candidates. So just by saying that you have over the years performed exceptionally well, and that coming from somebody who has worked with Lazarus, it helps the hiring manager know that Lazarus is an exceptional performer. Okay, so that statement alone starts separating Lazarus from the multitudes of people that he's competing with. Okay, so after that is done, once he has gotten the hiring manager's attention with this first few paragraphs, now he can now go ahead and make a claim. Okay, so he goes ahead and make a claim, and he says, those are just two of the many positive remarks made about me regarding my work attitude and performance. And then he goes on to explain that the first is from a recommendation letter from by a logistics partner to Notori Supply and Trading UK. And then the second is from my boss, from my former boss in the mid-year performance review of 2013. And then he goes now to make his claim. He says, how I can make a difference as logistic manager. Okay, so now once he says that, he has all the hiring manager's attention because he has already captured their attention. So he has positioned himself. Another thing he does is that if you look at the right hand column here, so let me go first to my own VIP resume to show you what I've done there, and then to come back here to Lazarus VIP resume to show you the same thing. So if you look at my VIP resume, you see I mentioned here that I've been featured on TV. Okay, I've appeared on Media Experts TV show. I've been interviewed by Ari Ford, who is the host of the show, and that show has been featured on NBC, CBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox affiliates in the US. So that is me there, being interviewed by Ari Ford. So I'm showing you everything here to position myself. So what is Lazarus doing in his own case? Well, in Lazarus' own case, if you look here, he says he won the Best Team Leader Award in 2012. Okay, so he won this award. He had this photo showing how he was receiving the award. So he was receiving a towel plus an LCD television from Mrs. Ovota Iyamu, so who is head of corporate communication at Notori. So all of that is his positioning. Okay, he's telling the hiring manager that, okay, I'm a well qualified guy. These are the things that make me different. Remember, the hiring manager is looking for people who are unique. Okay, winning the Best Team Leader Award makes you unique. Okay, it's something that's rare. Okay, that's why in a company few people win it. So just because it's rare, it helps to position you. It gives a very good reason why they should select you. On the contrary, if you just say I have a master's degree in this, it might not be so strong enough to position you. Okay, in terms of relative strength, it's not strong enough to position you from away from the masses, because most people have a master's degree or they have an MBA. Okay, so I think you get the idea here. The next thing he does here below is he also mentions that in addition to that, he is also a member of the Institute of Management in Nigeria. Okay, the Chartered Institute of Management in Nigeria. Again, he just piles that up to the fact that he has won the Best Team Leader award. So just mentioning that he's a member of the Institute of Management in Nigeria is not enough, because there are so many people who are also members of that Institute of Management. Okay, so but adding that to the initial position, which is the fact that he was best team leader, positions him as a unique candidate. So the same thing I've done here. If you look at my own VIP resume, I also tell you that I'm a regular contributor of career growth advice on Forbes Afrique magazine. Okay, I do that to pile up my positioning, to show you why, the things that makes me different from the crowd. Okay, so so that's it. And if you go on to another client of mine, if you look at Adebayo's VIP resume, the same thing. In this case, he was the second best account manager in his company, so he had to put it there. And he also mentioned that he was he also won the Brilliant Execution Excellence Award, so he also puts the image of the award there. Okay, so all of those things help to position him away from the masses. It separates him from the masses. Okay, and then he also features a testimonial there from his former boss. All of those things are positioning him. So those are all positioning elements. So I hope you've understood what I mean by putting yourself in a category of one, positioning yourself in a category of one. So let me go and continue with the rest of the other 4 reasons why the VIP resume is the most powerful marketing tool for you. Okay, so the second element of the VIP resume is an attention-grabbing headline plus multiple grabbers that grab and keep a hiring manager's attention like a magnet. So we've already seen the role the headline plays. Okay, the headline is there to grab attention, but once it has grabbed attention, you want to keep the reader reading. Okay, so that is what the rest of the VIP resume does. So so what I'm saying here is we have multiple grabbers sprinkled throughout the VIP resume that keeps the hiring manager's attention. So let's look at this my VIP resume. As you can see, you have the headline, which is there in bold big letters. It grabs the hiring manager's attention, and once they are hooked, the next thing is they start reading, and as they read, they keep going. There's also elements here. You have images like the logo you have here. You have these pictures here that are telling a story. For example, here it's saying that I was featured in TV show, and all of that. All of those are interactive elements. All of those images on the right hand column, all of those are are grabbers. Okay, they grab the eye. Okay, yeah. And then another other grabbers are these headlines here. So these headlines here you see in big bold letters, sorry, in red ink and red and black ink. All of those things, they stand out from the text itself. So all of these bolded phrases here, these underlined phrases, all of those things, they act as grabbers. They grab the eye, so somebody can easily scan through the document. Okay, so so as I said, no one ever just falls on a document and start reading without having checking whether it's worth reading. So people are very busy. When they see a document, the first thing they do is they ask themselves, is this worth my time? So that's what they do. So they never just go ahead and start reading the document. They scan through the document and they look at those grabbers, those elements that stand out. So like if you look at this subheading here, is an element that stands out from the crowd, from the text itself. So it's easy for the eye to pick it up and then check whether it's worth reading. So the hiring manager will be reading those kind of elements first. So they'll be checking headlines, they'll be checking things that are bolded, things that are underlined, things that are in italics, and so on. So those are kind of things we'll be checking. So all of those things, they grab their attention. That's what I call copy cosmetics. Okay. So copy cosmetic, like if you have cosmetics for women, they use cosmetics on their face to make themselves beautiful. So the same thing applies with the VIP resume. So those cosmetic elements, they give they don't only render the VIP resume beautiful, they also help to keep the hiring manager's attention. So they'll be asking themselves, for example, well, why did he underline this? They will go and check it and read it, and they might just start reading just from that point. So they might start reading your VIP resume, maybe from the second page, maybe from the third page, maybe from the fourth page, or maybe from the first page, depending on which of the grabbers get their attention. This is another grabber here, this yellow highlighter that highlights my name. That's another grabber. Okay. And I do the same thing for all of the VIP resumes I create for my clients. And there's an art to this. You don't just want to do it haphazardly. If you don't know how to do this very well, you can go ahead and just highlight everything, and at the end of the day, nothing stands out. So you need to know how to do it carefully. So for example, if you just go ahead and bold everything up or highlight everything in yellow, at the end of the day, nothing stands out. So if, for example, on this first page, there's only one thing that's highlighted in yellow, and it's my name, because I want it to stand out. So let me show you as this applies to the VIP resumes of some of my clients. So let's look at Adebayo's resume. So as you can see, he has his headline there that stands out. He has this yellow highlighter here. He has this here underline, this underlined phrase. He has the logo of his present company, GlaxoSmithKline. All of those things are grabbers. He has the image of his trophy, of his award. You have these headlines here in red. You have this other highlighter here. You have all of those things. If someone is scanning through this document from one page to another, asking themselves whether they should invest their time to read it, one of those grabbers will capture their attention. They might fall on this second page and they will ask themselves, why is this thing highlighted in yellow? And they will start reading from there. And when they read, it will say something like Brilliant Execution Excellence Award. They'll say, hey, so he won an award. Let me read about the award. They'll go ahead now and read the rest of the paragraph. And when they read the rest of the paragraph, they might now go and read the previous paragraphs. And then they start reading everything from there. So they might just start reading from that second page and once they start reading, they are hooked. Okay. So that is what I mean by copy cosmetics. Now let me go ahead to the next element that makes the VIP resume powerful. So the next element is what I call fascination statements. So what do all those grabbers do? Why do we use those grabbers? Why do we do copy cosmetics? The reason why we do copy cosmetics is because the VIP resume is long. Okay, so to keep the hiring manager interested in reading it, you have to maximize the chances of them reading the document. Remember, the first thing they will do is they will scan through the document, reading the elements that stand out from one page to another. So if your resume has like 10 pages, they might start reading your VIP resume from the third page or from the seventh page. So you want to make sure each page has grabbers. That is why we use grabbers. And for those of you who are saying, heck, how come this resume is so long? Who will have time to read such a long resume? Mind you, the copy cosmetic technique is there for that. It takes care of that. And that's why I have had clients with resumes as long as 10 pages, 8 pages, landing interviews. Okay. So for example, I have a client here. Peter Okomo, his VIP resume is like 10 pages long. Okay, so you can see it goes here up to like page 10. So this is 10 pages long. He texted me the other day, that was on Monday, saying that was Monday the 16th of June, telling me he was called for an interview. Okay, so again, that's to prove to you that length doesn't matter. Okay, this VIP resume works, and it has worked for many people, and it can work for you. The length doesn't matter. All of those things have been taken care of. The copy cosmetic technique is there for that. All of the interactive elements, the grabbers are there for that. So now that I've explained what copy cosmetics is all about, let me move ahead to the next element that makes the VIP resume different. So the next thing is what I call fascination statements. What do I mean by fascination statements? Fascination statements, they help to fascinate the reader. That is what keeps the reader interested in reading your VIP resume up to the end. Is because the statements are so interesting, they are so compelling. Okay, so I have perfected more than 12 different advanced fascination formulas that I use to express my client's skills and experience and qualifications and accomplishments in a way that does not only force hiring managers to believe what they are saying, but also it literally forces them to call the candidate for interviews. So let me show you what I mean by fascination, examples of fascination formulas. So in other words, if you read this statement, I say, newsflash, I have perfected more than 12 different advanced fascination formulas to help people like you express your special skills, experience, qualifications, and accomplishments in a way that does not only force hiring managers to believe what you're saying on your resume, but also literally forces them to call you for interviews. Now, that's a fascinating statement. The reason it's fascinating is because, one, in this particular statement, I mentioned that I have perfected 12 different advanced fascination formulas. So in your mind, it creates curiosity. You want to know what those 12 advanced fascination formulas are. You want to know them. So it creates curiosity. And Claude Hopkins, who is the author of Scientific Advertising, said curiosity is one of the highest human incentives. So people are always curious, and that's why people go to watch movie premieres. People want to be the first to get the iPhone. It's because of curiosity. Okay, so we are driven by curiosity. So let me show you how you can apply this, or how this is applied in a VIP resume. So if you go to let's take for example Adebayo's VIP resume. It says special skill number 1, remarkable sorry, 1 second. Okay, yeah, so it says special skill number 1, remarkable ability to develop and maintain an efficient coverage distribution plan. And it goes on to say, looking forward to reveal in the interviews how, as account manager at GlaxoSmithKline, I successfully lead a team of 10 sales representatives in implementing a sales project at Cross River State in 2011 that enabled us achieve amazing results. Okay, so that's a fascinating statement. When somebody tells you that they are looking forward to revealing in interviews how they did that, how they achieved that kind of result, it creates curiosity in your mind, you the hiring manager. Okay, so it creates curiosity in the hiring manager's mind. So because that statement is strong, it's fascinating. Okay, it's full of confidence. Let me show you another example. Okay, this is another one here. So it says special skill number 4, able to set smart KPIs for direct reports, sales executives within the region. And it says special skill, expert level mastery of a simple 3-step method for tracking the performance of sales representatives through KPIs so as to increase the team's productivity, prevent inconsistencies among sales executives in handling and closing sales deals, etc. So that's a fascinating statement. So the candidate is saying that they have an expert level mastery of a 3 simple step method. In the hiring manager's mind, they want to know what those what that 3 simple step method is. So that is what will force them to invite the candidate for an interview. Okay, so those are examples of fascinating statements. Let me show you another way to create fascination, because each of these, as I told you, I have more than 12 different advanced fascination formulas. So what I'm showing you, those different statements, they use one or more of those formulas. But let me just show you another fascination formula here, or statement. So this one says special skill. With regards to prospecting for new business and opportunities, I have mastered a powerful approach for getting stronger and viable business links through referrals. Now the guy is saying that he has mastered a powerful approach. Now that creates curiosity in the hiring manager's mind. Another thing he goes on to say, this unique approach has enabled me overcome challenges like challenge number 1, prospects' resistance to cold calling due to unfamiliarity and lack of trust. Challenge number 2, scarcity and difficulty in finding viable leads. Now, why is this very powerful? It's very powerful because the 2 challenges that he has mentioned are challenges that are recognizable by the hiring manager. Every hiring manager in sales, every senior sales manager who is in the position to hire other people knows that one of the challenges they face is the resistance to cold calling due to unfamiliarity and lack of trust from their prospects. So by this guy mentioning that as a challenge, he connects with the hiring manager, because remember, the best way to create trust is to say something that the other person agrees with. Okay, so if you meet somebody, let's say you're traveling to you travel to a country where you're a stranger in that country, and let's say you are in a plane or in a train or in a bus, and your neighbor sitting beside you start talking, ask you where are you coming from, and you tell the person, I'm coming from, say, Nigeria, and the person tells you that I've been in Lagos, and he'd start talking about a restaurant in Lagos that you are familiar with, that you know about. And at that particular moment, you start trusting that person. You start believing what the person is saying, and you get into a conversation with that person. So that's the easiest way to create trust, is to say something that the other person agrees with. So just by mentioning the challenges that the hiring manager agrees with, it creates rapport, it creates trust, okay, and it creates fascination. And because these challenges are linked to the unique approach, so because this guy has said that he can overcome these challenges with that unique approach he's talking about, it gives the hiring manager more reasons why he wants to know about that unique approach. Okay, so those are very fascinating statements. Again, those are examples of the kind of fascination statements I use to express the skills of my clients. As I told you, there are more than 12 of them. Okay, I cannot take the whole of this video to explain you the details about the different fascination formulas. I just want to show you how they work to create results, to force the hiring manager to call the candidate for interviews. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about, which is the 5th reason why the VIP resume is so powerful, and why it will help you land the kind of job you want, is that the text is less intimidating and easy to read. What do I mean by that? So the first thing is to tell the reader what he's about to discover, okay, by referencing the specific number of things you're going to share with them. So let me show you an example. Here, for example, I tell the reader that you will discover 5 reasons why the VIP resume is the most powerful self-marketing tool that can enable you land the kind of job you want, guaranteed. So I said that you will discover 5 reasons, and immediately after that I go ahead and list the 5 reasons. So this is reason number 1, and I go down, I talk about reason number 2, and reason number 3, and so on, and now I'm on reason number 5. Okay, so that is how you make the text easy, less intimidating, and easy to read. You give it some structure. Okay, so the next thing is to use bullet points or a numbered list. Okay, it makes the text it looks easy and nice to read. So so if you look at this document, I've used bullet points, I've used numbered list and things like that. Okay, it just makes the thing beautiful and easy to read. The next thing is you want to always highlight the main point. So let me show you what I mean. So if you look at these statements here, okay, so I am saying that first. So I'm saying that the first thing I want to tell you is this. So if you are reading this document, you know that the first thing I want to tell you is this, and the second thing I want to tell you is this. So it gives you some structure, some orientation. It gives you clarity on what you're reading. So for example, here I mentioned challenge. I said what you're about to discover here is a challenge. Okay, so if I did not include this word here, challenge, there wouldn't be any incentive for the reader to read. So just by putting the label there, the challenge, and in bold, it tells the reader that okay, he's talking about the challenge here, and it helps the eye to pick those elements out. Also, I also said answer. I said how. All of those are main points, the main point of the paragraph. So, and then always make sure you bold your main point. Okay, always put your main point in bold, and then use short sentences. Okay, it's important to use short sentences because they are easier to read. And again, let's face it, if it looks like it will be hard to read because everything is choked up and the sentences are so long, nobody's going to want to read it. Okay, if you want to see how powerful this is, go get James Patterson's book. So any of James Patterson's book, you will see how he keeps his sentences very short. And mind you, he is one of the best-selling fiction authors of all time, and he has sold millions and millions of books. And the reason is because of what he does. And if you have very long sentences that you cannot in any way keep them shorter, you can separate them with these 3 dots. Okay, just as you find here. So let me show you some examples. Let me go to let me take one of the VIP resumes and show you what I'm talking about. So if you look at Lazarus' resume here, you will see that this is the main point here. So I'm talking about an amazing accomplishment. So the reader should know immediately that I'm talking about an amazing accomplishment here because I use the main point here, amazing accomplishment. And because the sentence was too long, I use these 3 dots here to separate the sentences, to break them into parts. Okay, so it keeps everything spaced out, and it makes it easier for the reader to consume, and it makes it less intimidating because they are just telling themselves, okay, I just have to read 2 lines here, and then I have to read another 2 lines here, and then I have to read another 2 lines. It's easy. But if I just had like 4 or 5 lines there to chew, it makes it a bit difficult and a bit intimidating. So one of the things I did, or I've started doing recently, is that I make sure I don't go more than 2 or 3 paragraphs. Okay, so if you look at this VIP resume, I use very short paragraphs. So I make sure a paragraph is not more than 2 lines, okay, in this particular VIP resume. In some cases I might be tempted to go 3 because there's just no way to do, but highest an exceptional 3 is an exceptional case. The general case is that I leave everything to 2 lines. That is what I do recently, and it has proven to work very well because it helps. It gives the text a less intimidating look. Okay, so that's it. So so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you really enjoyed this video, I want you to leave your comments below in the comment section below. Tell me what you think, and if you have any questions, it's also an opportunity to ask me your questions and I'll answer them. So please leave your comments below this video. Let me know what you think about the VIP resume.